Hello. Starting the video with messed up hair so that I can fix it on camera. Now you might be saying, that looks worse. You look better with your hairline showing. It makes you look like a Chad. Well, I don't care. I'm gonna look like a soy boy forever. I was thinking a lot about this earlier. Sorry, my friend's dog looks incredibly sad right now. Come here, come here, come here. I'm gonna pet him while I talk, so he's not sad. Anyways, I want to make a video related, not really. I would do a brief tangent related to the topic of soy boyism. I don't know if I'm perceived as a soy boy or not. That's TLDR. Where am I on the masculinity slider? Let me know. And by let me know, I mean, only let me know if you know me. Because the screen you're staring at all day is an illusion, and nothing on the internet is real. This is all fake. Go and touch grass. Go meet some friends. Your online community isn't an actual community. They're just pixels on the screen. I mean this for real. Go make some friends. Now, furthering on the topic of extreme isolation due to the internet, I'm an isolated fellow. I'm a no friends associates fellow. No, I have friends. I even have a girlfriend, you know. Some of you can't say the same. No, I'm not disparaging people, actually. This is a common issue in the youth. I have friends. It's just, I'm a lot like Simple Plan. I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. I better stop singing so well or I'll get copyright struck. No, I think I got a lot of friends, but I don't hear from them. Yeah, I have lots of friends. And I talk. I message them on the internet, which is not real. I message my real life friends on the internet, not people on the internet who are. I don't have that many internet friends. I have a few. Anyways, friends. I'm an isolated fellow. I need to work on this. I need to work on talking to people more. But I don't know what it is. The new apartment, because it isn't in the ghetto, it's actually livable, and I can sit around and bed rots. Actually, no. I've just been more depressed. The season is changing, and I just took a vitamin D supplement, another one today, because I'm like, oh man. Is seasonal affective disorder a thing, or do I just live in a particular part of the world in which there's no fucking sunshine ever? Haven't seen the sun in a while, so mood is starting to tank. Where am I going with this? I'm sorry, mute my laptop so you don't hear Discord. I had something else I wanted to make a video about. I was like, oh man, I really need to pause my shit and make a video, and then I sort of took a minute longer and I forgot all of it. But I'm just gonna say that podcasts are just vlogs with more than one person. Like what I'm doing, I'm essentially podcasting, but you can't have a podcast. You can have a podcast though. I think that's interesting. Podcasts now are, usually have more than one person, but podcast does not necessarily mean more than one person. There are podcasts that are just essentially people talking like me. That's a smoke detector. Dog is going to the door. Come here. Dealing with a lot of externalities right now. No Shave November. Feeling itchy. It's Remembrance Day today. I don't know what I was saying. Podcasts. So podcasts don't necessarily have to be more than one person, but I feel that the modern definition is kind of, you say to your friends, oh, we should make a podcast. I wish I got money every time I said that to my friends, and I'm sure everyone else does too. Why do people say that? I think it's because everyone is lonely. Because why are you're having a conversation with your friends, and you say we should make a podcast. Now, what you mean is you just want more people to hear what you're saying. You want there to be more than two people talking. You're talking to your friend, you're having a really good time, but you wish that you were having a rambunctious party with lots of your friends and talking. And there's just everyone wants more community. We should all hang out more. Guys, I've been saying this for a few years on this channel probably. I'm like, we should hang out more. We should just hang out more. We should just go and hang out with our friends. So we should go hang out with our friends instead of make podcasts. No, I don't know. Am I anti-podcast? Am I about to end this video becoming radically anti-podcast? So basically what I'm doing is essentially a podcast, but it's a vlog. Like what difference from a vlog and a podcast? The line is thin, right? Right, because lots of podcasts have a video component these days. When they started out, it wasn't that way. So I'm podcasting right now. This is my podcast, and I guess because they have episodes, right? So maybe podcast has episodes, but there are vlogs that are considered episodes, and they have like a sort of theme to them. People. A very modern, current example. This is the people who do the day in my life vlogs, and they just do these all the time. My favorite one, can I shout out a day in my life channel? Let me see. Go into my YouTube subscriptions. Can I even find? I think the channel's like Marco. Like he's a programmer who works for Cahoots. Yeah, Marco. Right? Yeah, Marko. Marco. That's the only one I'm subscribed to. Have I watched his video in a long time? No, but I did at some point watch his videos because I find it very interesting to see what the big tech people are doing, in their workplaces with all their free food and shit. So I like this insight. I like to see the inside of Norway. I like to see a Norwegian's day in the life. Call me perverted for being such a voyeur for the Norwegian lifestyle. No. What am I talking about? The podcast. Podcasts and vlogs. So, why do I want to talk? Why do people want to make podcasts? Why do people want their ideas out there? I don't know. I think we need places to get ideas tossed around. Everyone wants this. I've been talking recently a lot with anyone, and by talking I mean I've just been complaining about how there's nowhere to talk about ideas, right? Whether this be philosophical, political, anything in like the soft sciences. There's nowhere to actually discuss this. University, there's no one's there to discuss these ideas, which is bizarre because, you'd think, it's like that post where it's like, I have theories and I've tried to contact universities, but they've ignored me. And yeah, there's some truth to that. Obviously, you can't just, that's not how you write an academic paper. You have to, but that's the thing. Maybe it should be. Maybe it's also a problem with the university, right? Like, I think maybe not only is university attracting people who don't care about ideas, i.e. people just want to go there and get a psychology degree and get a job. It's like a degree mill for a job. But they don't realize that they have to, that good psychologists are people who are like really passionate and interested in this stuff. Like not just from like a slight way, but like this is their hobby essentially, right? That's what makes someone good in their field, is that they want to be that, but that's for most people at university, that's not the case. People are just there to get the degree, to get the job, because they're like, maybe it has a good work-life balance. I don't know. My generation was screwed. I'm fucked. But universities are not the place to find people who want to discuss things, besides surface level. They're not interested. They're not looking at these things outside of their classes. This is To them, like political science is a slideshow that their professor presents in a lecture. That's the only thing it is to them. It's not an actual thing that they wish to interact with, and that's fine. I'm just saying that this is what's happening at universities. It's not a place for people to interact with these things outside of a surface level, and that shows in academic research. I think there's a reason why some people are like, don't trust big science, but I'm actually not talking about science here. I actually don't care too much to discuss STEM, but I feel like, I think that's only because what I talk about in the soft sciences, like sort of like humanities stuff and academic sort of things, social things, applies like the same things are happening in STEM, exactly. So what's happening is people are like, all academic studies are basically just people rushing to get their fucking masters done, and they're writing these shit papers, and it's getting published everywhere, and it's just, there's so much garbage. There's so much garbage everywhere. I roll my eyes when I get an assignment in university where it's like, you have to do research. I'm like, fuck, I have to look at shit that doesn't matter so I can produce shit that doesn't matter. You go to university to produce shit that doesn't matter, to then prove to your employee that you can produce shit that matters. I can't get a job. I don't know why I can't get a job in my field, guys. I wonder why. It's almost like these things are, the same, right? Like people don't want to get a job in the field. That's why people aren't getting a job in their fields. No one wants to fucking do these things except for the people who don't want to do these things. And the people who do want to get into these academic fields are finding that if you go to a university, there's nowhere to sort, like, you're not being assigned work that would help facilitate this interest and create like actual good like academic articles or anything, right? You're just rushing to get your degree done because you're like, oh fuck, I gotta survive and get the fuck C's, get degrees, man. So it's a system where you're not learning the skills at all, and there's also no like social aspect or like idea exchange happening at universities. There's no idea exchange. You're just getting read slides from the textbook, right? And that's very unfortunate. And there's only like a small amount of like students and professors who are aware of this. Like professors are not aware of this. It's weird because you have professors who are like, I really value education and educating people, and then they're not educating you. They're just throwing useless assignments at you. And I'm like, fuck, you're destroying your own job. They're not gonna want to fund you if you're not gonna do shit. But it's not their fault because they're just in the broken system. They're just a cog in the broken system. That's fine. I'm also a cog in the broken system. I'm writing paper. There's tabs open on my computer with worthless shit open right now. I'm gonna, but then you have like a few people who are, like I'm personally pissed off about this because I have personal interests in academic fields. I'm not studying them. I'm not choosing to take degrees in the things I'm interested in because, not because they're useless degrees, but also because it's not actually, exchange of these ideas are not actually happening in these programs. Like, I feel like lots of people tell me like, oh, why don't you take what you're interested in too? Like when I complain, because I'm in business right now, I'm like, I'm not interested in it, but if I'm gonna be in the degree mill education system we're currently in, I might as well be in something that I can leverage in a career sort of way. That's just I'm practical in that way, very utilitarian in this way. But I'm interested in a lot of academic, like I would not be able to choose anything in a liberal arts field. I would just want to major in everything. I'm like genuinely interested in a lot of these things in my free time. And I like spend a lot of time reading like academic texts. And I'm big into philosophy mainly. But I'm interested in broadly everything, right? I'm interested in ideas and the exchange of ideas, broadly speaking. That's how I see the liberal arts. But it is not being interfaced with in that way at universities. It's not an exchange of ideas. It is being interfaced the same way that STEM classes are. And it's all it's causing problems. So I take issue with this because it's not good. But I am in a minority, right? Like, most people are not taking issue in this. They're like, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm here to learn the curriculum and get my degree. It's not high school, right? But it's being interacted with as like a higher level high school. There's too much post-secondary and post-secondary. I've only met a few professors who actually they try their hardest to sort of encourage this sort of exchange of ideas in an environment where that is like both institutionally and socially not the task at hand anymore. So I appreciate their efforts when I have professors like this, which is very rare. I think maybe I've had like 2 or 3, but not really any. But I commend their efforts. Like, they're basically, it's like if you tried to open up like a fucking crypto scam business in like actual communism. It's like if you tried to do capitalism in a communism society. It's like we're working against the grain, and it's not going well. Sorry to use capitalism, communism as I feel like it's an easy palatable example for what the struggle for the struggle, right? I'm explaining struggle here. Yeah, so I don't even know. Like, it sucks for people like me, and it sucks for professors who are actually like trying to facilitate. It feels like they're trying to problem solve. Like, imagine you just want to be a professor, but suddenly, like 100, maybe not 100. Yeah, maybe 100 years ago, if you're like a university professor, you're there to facilitate the exchange of ideas. But now, if you're a university professor, you're there to get your money and point at PowerPoint slides. And that's very hard for people who probably want to be a professor, because you are not allowed to do anything besides point at PowerPoint slides. Now, you might be saying, my professor doesn't use slides. I'm using this metaphorically. I'm using pointing at slides and using curriculum as a metaphor for professors who are just there collecting salary rather than actually facilitating the exchange of ideas. So, I'm just complaining. I have no solution for where we should exchange ideas, how we can create another space to exchange ideas. That's what's really missing, right? We're missing a third place. And whether that be like university was like a third place for the exchange of academic ideas, right? But you can have, a third place be a bar in a shitty town, and that you're exchanging ideas there, right? This is not what they were speaking about in the Parisian salons, is how I feel when I go to university. So, if podcasts aren't the answer because they're we can't involve enough people in a podcast, right? Like, you would comment on a podcast, but you're parasocial to that exchange of ideas. You're not actually exchanging the ideas with the host, you're just listening. You're just headphones in listening. And if we can't have that exchange of academic ideas at a university, where can we exchange ideas? I don't know, and I don't have a solution. I'm just talking.